Have you ever had one of those quiet little moments that didn't seem important, until it stayed with you? You stand up for just a second. Maybe to grab a glass of water, maybe to check your phone, maybe just to stretch your legs. It's nothing. You're gone for only a few seconds. But when you come back, your seat is gone. Not just taken, claimed. And there they are. Your cat, sitting right where you were, perfectly settled, like they've been waiting their entire life for that exact moment. Their body relaxed, their paws tucked in, their eyes half closed like royalty resting on a throne that clearly belongs to them. And then they look at you. That look. Not guilty. Not surprised. Not even slightly concerned. Just calm. Maybe a little smug. Maybe even a little proud. As if to say, "Oh, you wanted this back?" It's funny, right? A little annoying sometimes. Maybe even confusing. Because it happens again and again. You move, they replace you. Every time. Almost instantly. And at some point you start to wonder, what? Why that spot? Why your spot? Why the second you leave? It feels like a tiny mystery playing out in your everyday life. A small, quiet behavior that somehow feels bigger than it should. Because deep down, it doesn't feel random. It feels intentional. And here's the thing most people never realize. Your cat isn't just stealing your seat. They're answering a feeling you didn't even know you left behind. Because to your cat, that spot isn't just a chair. It isn't just a cushion or a piece of furniture sitting in the middle of your room. To them, it's something alive with meaning. When you sit somewhere, you don't just leave an empty space when you stand up. You leave warmth behind. You leave your scent behind. You leave something invisible, something quiet, something deeply familiar. Your cat feels all of it. They step into that space, curl into it, and suddenly, the world makes a little more sense again. It feels safer there. Have you ever noticed how quickly they move? Sometimes you barely lift yourself off the seat before they're already climbing into it. Like they've been waiting, watching, timing it perfectly. It's not impatience. It's comfort calling them. Because in a world that can feel unpredictable, loud, and overwhelming, your presence is one of the few things that never confuses them. You are their constant. And that spot you left behind? It becomes a small island of calm in the middle of everything else. So when your cat sits there, they're not just being cute. They're not just being stubborn. They're not even trying to take something from you. They're moving closer to something they trust. Closer to something that feels like home. And maybe that's why they settle so deeply into it. Why their body softens. Why their breathing slows. Why they look so at peace. Because for them that space still holds you. Even when you're not there. And without saying a single word, without making a sound, without doing anything dramatic at all. They're quietly telling you something. Something simple. Something honest. This feels safe, because you were here. And once you start seeing it that way, that tiny, everyday moment changes. It's no longer about losing your seat. It's about realizing just how much of you stays behind even after you leave. And how much that matters to someone who can't say it out loud. And if you stay still for a moment, if you really watch them when they think no one is paying attention, you'll notice something even more intimate happening. They don't just sit there. They settle. Slowly. Gently. Almost like they're sinking into something invisible. Their paws tuck under their body, their tail wraps in just the right way, and their eyes soften as if the world has finally gone quiet enough for them to rest. Because in that moment, they're not just sitting in your place. They're surrounding themselves with you. To you, scent is faint. Easy to ignore. Something you barely notice unless it's strong. But to your cat, scent is everything. It's memory. It's emotion. It's identity. It's how they understand who belongs in their world and who doesn't. And your scent is their favorite story. When they curl up in your seat, they're stepping into that story. Breathing it in. Letting it wrap around them like something soft and familiar. It tells them where you've been, how you feel, what kind of day you had. It tells them you're theirs. And for a creature that experiences the world in quiet, subtle ways, that means more than we can ever fully understand. But sometimes, there's another side to it. A slightly more dramatic one. Because as gentle as cats can be, there's also a tiny spark of pride in them. A quiet sense of ownership that shows up in the smallest, most unexpected ways. Like the moment you stand up, and they don't hesitate. They don't wait to see if you're coming back. They don't ask for permission. They move in immediately, confidently, like they've just reclaimed something that was always theirs to begin with. And in their own silent language, they're saying something bold. This is mine. Not just the seat. Your routine. Your space. The places you return to again and again. All of it becomes part of their world. Their territory isn't just walls and corners. It's built from the things that carry your presence. So when they take your spot, they're not being rude. They're declaring something. Something a little dramatic, a little funny, but also strangely sweet. They're claiming a piece of you. And then there are those moments, the ones that feel almost impossible to ignore. When your cat doesn't just take your seat quietly. They make sure you notice. They jump up while you're still standing there. They look straight at you as they settle in. Maybe they let out a soft meow. Maybe they tap the cushion with their paw like they're inviting you to react. Or challenging you to. And suddenly it doesn't feel like a coincidence anymore. Feels like a message. Because some cats don't believe in subtlety. They know exactly how to interrupt your routine. Exactly how to place themselves right in the center of your attention. They understand your patterns better than you think, and they know how to break them in the most charming way possible. Stealing your seat becomes their signal. A quiet little interruption that says, "You were busy, but now you're not. Look at me. Talk to me. Be here with me for a second." And the truth is, it works. Almost every time. Because you stop. You look. You react. Maybe you smile, maybe you laugh, maybe you gently argue with them like they can actually understand every word. And in that moment, they've done exactly what they wanted. They've pulled you back into their world. But beneath all of this, the comfort, the scent, the tiny bits of drama, there's something even deeper hiding in that simple act. Something quieter. Something that doesn't demand attention, but holds on to connection. Because for some cats, it's not about taking your place. It's about staying close to you, even after you've moved away. That spot you left behind still carries your warmth. Not just physical warmth, but something softer. Something that lingers like an echo. And when they curl up in it, they're holding on to that echo. As if sitting there keeps you just a little bit closer. As if, in their own quiet way, they're saying, "Don't go too far. Stay near, even when you're not here." And once you begin to feel that, really feel it, you realize this isn't just a habit. It's connection, expressed in the smallest, most beautiful way. And maybe the most surprising part of all, is that sometimes your cat isn't just following you. They're learning you. It sounds strange at first. After all, we're the ones who train them, right? We choose their routines, their feeding times, their spaces. We think we're the ones shaping their world. But if you watch closely, really closely, you'll start to notice something different. Your cat is always observing. The way you sit. The places you return to every day. The quiet moments where you relax, where you feel safe enough to let your guard down. They see all of it even when you don't realize it. And slowly, without you noticing, they begin to mirror you. The chair you love. That corner of the couch. That exact spot you choose after a long day, it becomes important to them not because of the object itself but because it matters to you. And in their quiet, mysterious way, they want to be part of that. So when they take your seat, it's not just comfort. It's not just warmth. It's something softer. Something almost emotional. It's admiration. A silent little gesture that says, "This place matters to you, so it matters to me too." And then there's the warmth. Something so simple, yet so irresistible. Cats are drawn to warmth the way we're drawn to familiar voices. It's instinctive. Natural. Almost impossible to ignore. And the moment you stand up, your seat becomes the perfect little pocket of heat. Shaped exactly like you. To them it's not just warm. It's perfect. A place that holds the exact outline of where you were, like a memory they can step into. And when they curl up inside it, they're not just chasing comfort. They're stepping into something that feels alive, even in your absence. Something that still feels like you. But here's a thought that most people never consider. What if they're not taking your seat away from you at all? What if they're keeping it for you? It sounds almost too sweet to be true. But cats have a quiet way of guarding the things they value. Not loudly, not aggressively, but with presence. They sit. They stay. They watch. And your seat, the place where you always return, becomes something worth protecting in their eyes. So while you're gone, they hold it. They keep it warm. They keep it occupied. They make sure nothing else takes it, nothing else changes it. And in their own silent language, they're saying something you might never have expected. "I've got this. Your place is safe with me." And then, there's the deepest part of all. The part that turns this tiny, everyday habit into something much bigger than it seems. Because in the world of cats, sharing space is not a small thing. Trust. In homes with multiple cats, the places they choose to rest are never random. They rotate spaces with those they feel safe with. They rest where their closest companions have been. It's a quiet exchange, a way of saying, "You're part of my circle." And when your cat takes your seat, they're including you in that circle. Not as an owner. Not as someone above them. But as family. It's one of the purest forms of connection they can offer. No words. No grand gestures. Just a simple, repeated action that carries so much meaning beneath the surface. You belong with me, and I belong with you. So the next time you stand up and come back to find your seat taken, pause for a second. Look at them not with annoyance, but with understanding. Because what feels like a tiny inconvenience is actually a quiet expression of love. Don't rush to push them away. Don't break the moment too quickly. Maybe gently sit beside them. Maybe let them stay just a little longer. Because to them, this isn't just about a chair. It's about you. And in a world where they can't speak your language, this is how they choose to say it. Softly. Silently. Honestly. You matter to me.